We welcome you back into our Pioneer post-game report where Mars Hill has knocked off the Pioneers 110-98. The difference really, Pioneers a 10-point lead, led at 48-38 despite Mars Hill making everything. Went a little bit cold offensively, and Mars Hill found a rhythm there from the first half to the second, went on a 16-2 run, built a lead, and it was an uphill battle from there. Joined by Pioneer coach Mike Jones, who I know you're very disappointed. I know it's a very frustrating loss here tonight, for this team. So many positives we can take away offensively, but really we have to start defensively. It's a Pioneer team that as much as you work, and I see what we're doing and what you're preaching and what you're trying to coach, and you're trying to cover up gaps and stuff, and we still have some guys make some dribble drivers, and then a guy got hot outside tonight, and that really kind of set the tone for Mars Hill, who made a bunch of shots.
They did some tough shots. I'll tell you what, a lot of that wasn't bad defense. A lot of that is just the fact that some kids made some really tough shots. Yeah. Patrick Monroe shot it as well as you're going to see a guy shoot it, 8 for 10. And we had there was a couple possessions where we had some miscommunication, and he got an open, clean look. But I tell you what, there's some where we were draped on him.
Right.
I mean, we had guys just smothering him, and he's knocking really tough shots in. So you got to give a lot of credit to him. I thought that Justin Jurgen played really well. He's a tough cover. He's a guy that's really active. He's strong with the basketball, and he can score it in multitudes of ways. And so both those guys had really good nights. They really scored the basketball very, very well. I was a little disappointed with our sloppy play. I thought we had way too many turnovers in this ball game. You're talking about a team that doesn't put a lot of pressure on you defensively. I thought we made, the good thing was, and one of the things I was just preaching, I've been preaching, is we got to attack. We got to attack. And I thought, especially in the first half, we did a pretty good job of really getting in the lane, being very aggressive, getting to the rim, and making things happen like that. And so that I really liked. I thought in the second half, we came out, we jumped out, we started doing some of the same things, couldn't get the ball to go in the rim. I thought Chase, we got to chase the ball a couple times right at the rim. He missed, especially early. There's a lot of times we didn't get him the ball and had the opportunity to, and we've got to do a better job of entering the basketball to him. But, at the same time, Mars Hill obviously playing a very collapsing defense on him, didn't want him to get a lot of touches. So, there was a lot of things there. I think, frustrating to say the least. That's a game, obviously, that we wanted to win, that we felt like we should have won, could have won. But Mars Hill's a very dangerous team, and we talked about that a lot. Even before the game, they've got so many kids that can really score the basketball. That, hey man, if they get going, they can score it.
Yeah.
And obviously tonight, they did just that.
You even said it today. They're an individual type of a team,
yeah.
And I think what it is, it's just they see who's hot. Whoever the hot guy is, they continue to go to. Monroe got fed a whole bunch in the first half. But Jurgen, who then, you're talking about guys hitting some spot-up shots. You're talking about guys beating the shot clock with rainbow three-pointers. Things like that went. And I think for this Mars Hill team, they're outstanding. You have to outscore them, and when they don't win, they have 8 losses. When they don't win, they don't shoot well. But they shot well here today.
They did. And, how much of that was bad defense versus good offense, I don't know. Like I said, there was a lot of shots they hit. Like you're saying, there's some shots at the end of the shot clock. And, they weren't open shots. They're late shots. They got to hurry and get it off. And we're right there in their face with them, hand up. And they weren't drawing anything but the bottom of the net. It was something, a couple of those shots. So, again, very, very frustrating. I felt like our game plan was strong. I felt like the things that we had to do, we talked about, were things that were good. We've got to do a better job, and I'm not exactly sure where to point. Probably the most frustrating thing to me was I saw some things out of us we hadn't seen this year. Too many heads were dropping because they didn't feel like they were getting enough shots. Too many, looked like some selfish type of things that went on, and that's something obviously we in this program that we're not going to stand for, and that's not what we're about. We're about this basketball team winning a game as a team, and so we've got to correct that and make sure that we're refocused on what's important. And if you can be a better basketball team, you can beat Mars Hill. And tonight we tried to be better individuals than Mars Hill, and they won that battle.
Right. And I thought that looking at Darius Carter, he got off to the start that I was wanting to see, and maybe you talked to him about
I did, and some things that we talked talked about. I did actually. I talked about the fact that we needed him to get off to a better start early. That he was being a little bit too passive, too team-oriented, and I don't know. Maybe that backfired a little bit in that all of a sudden those touches that guys were kind of used to getting because he was so unselfish early in ball games. Now he's being more aggressive in that we were scoring the basketball. Obviously, we scored 98 points with him doing that, but. I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Zach Davis all over the place once again. I know he was frustrated there at the end, but he just seems to somehow get a hand on an offensive rebound or something, and he kept the ball alive a lot tonight. And I know he was frustrated at the end.
He did. He was. But he's a junior. He's got to make sure he handles himself a little bit better, even when he's frustrated. We had a great look at the top of the key. I think that he missed some shots that he's not used to missing.
Right.
That was a great 3 look. And he airballed it. And we've seen, I think his 3-point percentage is the best on our team at this point.
Right.
So I know that frustrated him. I know that then he was frustrated with the score, and I think a lot of them got frustrated with some of the other guys on the team with their play.
Yeah.
Or how hard. I thought Malik Tyree came in and was superb. Great energy, played really hard. And for that kid to come in and be tied for us with rebounds. Second, I guess, tied for second with rebounds with six rebounds in 11 minutes out of a kid that's 6'2". Just played really active, and that's what I told him in the locker room and in front of everybody. Says, listen, I don't care if you score at all. If you play that hard, you're gonna play.
Yeah. On top of this, Mars Hill worst in the nation in free throws, and they knocked every. I jokingly said, whatever you don't do well, come to Pioneer Arena, and you're going to cure that for some reason.
That's something.
I'm not exactly sure why that happens, but it did. You got to persevere through, a lot of those crazy type things. Team that doesn't turn it over, and you turned them over in the second half. They only had 1 turnover, and you had some looks and some opportunities.
Yeah.
Just not. It's a crazy game, and it boils down to a team that. They got hot. They made some shots.
Well, you look, and here we shoot 50% from the floor, and we came up with 16 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's a lot of second chances. When you're shooting, 1 out of every 2 of your shots are going in. Everything, a lot of things you look at on this sheet tell us that we should have won.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No, and especially like you said, when you're one of the worst teams in the nation of free throws, and you make right at 80% of them, and you're making 55% of your 3-point shots, and not just 55%, but 15 of those.
Yeah, 15.
Those are really tough. So. It's frustrating, again, very, very frustrating. You're not sure where to point your finger and where to correct it, but I know that our attitude when things are not going well has to be better. That's the time when you've got to, your character shows and you really got to come together.
All right, well, not to, make it worse. Queens was down 20 to LR, and they have mounted a comeback, and they've come back to win.
That's something.
Flexing their muscle, showing they're one of the better teams in the league. That's where we go Saturday. A great opportunity, I think, for our team, too. Right now in a bad way. You feel bad, and you can go in there and play well.
Really
Queens
good basketball
is right there.
team.
They're a good team.
I mean, they're I don't know what they're ranked right now in the nation, but very, very good, very tough. A lot of former high-level Division I players.
Mm-hmm.
I think 3. ACC, SEC players are on that team. I mean, you're talking about really talented. A tough place to play, great facility, but tough place to play. And so, and I'm sure they're putting a lot of people in the stands because they're playing so well.
Coach, you're gracious to come see us. Thank you.
Well, I wouldn't miss it.
Good, thanks. I appreciate it. It's Mike Jones.
Thank you.
Pioneers fall here tonight to the Mars Hill Lions, a final score of 110 to 98.